deep. You're Ken Kell. You're the hockey guy. I go, I don't know anything about this stuff.
This is The Conversation Line, presented by Fieger Law.
Hey, Red Wings fans, welcome to another edition of The Conversation Line brought to you by Fieger Law. I'm Daniella Bruce, and joining me virtually today, Red Wings goaltending prospect and current goaltender for the Michigan State Spartans, Trey Augustine. Trey, thank you so much for taking the time to join us. I know this has to be an insane time of year for you.
Yeah, no, of course. Yeah, definitely a little bit busy, but always willing to do this.
Yeah, we're excited to chat with you. You've got a lot going on, and I'm going to start with some of your personal accolades because I know there's so much that you and the Michigan State hockey team want to accomplish as the team in the coming weeks. But for you, you have been named goaltender of the year in the Big Ten and a finalist for the Mike Richter Award, which is for the NCAA best goalie in the nation. When you think about that, what's the first thing that comes to mind? Did you think, like when younger Trey, did he ever think that something like this would happen?
Probably not, honestly. I mean, I feel like I've personally come a long way in my hockey career and as a person. So I think continuing to grow in both those areas is huge in the next few years in my entire life. But obviously, those awards mean a lot and they speak volumes to the people around me and everyone that's helped me get to this point.
What do you think you've gotten better at over the last year or so since we've talked to you last?
I think just consistency. I think last year, it's my first year of college. It was a little hard for me to bring it both nights on every weekend, but I think this year's been a lot better with that.
You have a teammate that's also receiving some of the personal accolades. Isaac Howard was named Player of the Year in the Big Ten, and he's a Hobie Baker finalist. So there's a lot of excitement there. And though you guys play completely different positions, what can you learn from playing alongside players like him?
Yeah, no, I think just watching him every day at the rink and seeing how he prepares and trains and how much he just truly cares about bringing his best every single day is just huge. And obviously, we have a lot of other guys like that here too, and I think it's just a good environment for me to be around.
Well, how would you describe the environment in the Michigan State hockey team this year?
Yeah, no, it's pretty intense, but it's also a lot of fun. Obviously, we have a lot of goals that we're trying to hit, and we have high expectations for ourselves, which is good. So I think just kind of every day, just bringing your best and doing everything you can to put the team first.
We've talked a lot about Michigan State, which has been a great year for you, but you had another experience to represent your country at the World Juniors tournament, and you guys won back-to-back gold medals now, winning in 2024 or 2023 and 2024, I guess it was, or was it 2024, 2025? 2 years in a row. We're getting that. The last two World Juniors, the USA wins, and you were a part of both of those teams. Where did you see your growth from year one to year two? And when you get to experience something like that, what do you take back to Michigan State with you?
Yeah, no, I think from the years, it's just you're just more comfortable, kind of how the
Mhm.
schedule works, how intense the tournament is, and just kind of all the extra noise and pressure surrounding it. And I think just kind of being able to have that experience in my first and second year and bring it for my third year and win another gold medal is huge. Just kind of having that to kind of fall back on, and then coming back to school here, it's a quick turnaround. So kind of just bringing those experience to those pressure games where it's kind of do or die, I think is good for this time of year.
Who was most influential to you? And I'll ask you the same question about in at Michigan State too, but we'll start with Team USA. Was there anybody that really stuck out as super influential to your career, or somebody you really enjoyed getting to work with during that time?
Yeah, honestly, I think it's just all my head coaches I had there. Going back to my coach at NTVP, Dan Muse, and obviously Coach Carl for the past 2 years at the World Juniors, and then even my goalie coach, Coach Hassan, just kind of all the support that those three gave me, and just kind of knowing they always had my back was just made it easy to go out there and just do my thing.
And who do you lean on at Michigan State right now?
Yeah, I think now it's kind of like the same thing. Like Coach Dangle, I've known him for a while, and then obviously our assistants coach Jared DeMichael and Mike Towns have done a great job just being there in my corner and just always pushing me to get better.
Trey, you are so even keeled for how young you are. And I think I've told you that before. You're very calm. You seem like you've got it all figured out, right? And you're so young to have that sort of demeanor. How was that instilled in you? And how are you able to keep it that way through the highs and lows of a hockey season?
Yeah, I think it first comes from my mom a little bit. She's
Yeah.
very similar to me in that sense, but I think for me, I just want to give the guys in front of me confidence, and I think just kind of by never being too high or too low, it just kind of gives them the sense that I'm just there for them when they need me.
Okay, so mom is calm. How's dad?
Uh, he's not as calm as mom, say that.
No. Does he keep you like get you fired up a little bit? Is that at all his role?
A little bit. He's not really like a hype man, I'd say. He's just very like emotional, I'd say. Best way to put it.
So you and I are chatting right now before the Big Ten tournament championship game, which you guys will play Ohio State for that championship. And then obviously Selection Sunday right around the corner as we get ready for the tournament. Describe to us what this time of year is like for a player.
Yeah, no, I'm sure it's different for like guys in college and guys in professional leagues where we play really the past 2 weeks. It's been one game a weekend where you're training all week, just trying to get ready to execute on one night. And I'm sure obviously like the Red Wings now are probably playing a lot more games where they have to win every night, a lot less practice and stuff. But for me, it's really just been about like fine tuning some stuff in my game and just making sure I'm feeling good heading into the weekends.
What do you do throughout the week to make sure you're ready to go?
Yeah, just taking care of my body, doing extra stuff in the gym and in the training room, just making sure my hips and my groins and everything's feeling good. And then obviously the first few days of the week, you really push it hard in the on the ice and in the weight room, just trying to get stronger and improve. And then towards like Thursday and Friday this week, it's more about just kind of feeling good and making sure your mind's in the right spot.
And this is me just speculating, but I'm sure you will agree that this Michigan State team feels like there's some unfinished business after last year and how good you guys were and the way that the season ended. How can you use that as motivation? Do you guys talk about it, or how do you reflect on it to help you as you enter this tournament?
Yeah, no, I think for us it's always about the day at hand, so we're not really looking too far back or too far ahead. So it's just kind of the one day at a time. But obviously, everyone that was a part of that group knows that there was some stuff left out on the table last year, and I just kind of using that internally motivates a lot of the guys.
What makes this Michigan State team so special this year? Because it feels like even more so than last year that the chemistry's there and it looks like you guys could make a deep run.
Yeah, I think it always kind of falls back on the culture. I think everyone just loves coming to the rink and pushing each other to get better. Obviously, there's going to be tough times where you're battling with guys, and in the end, I think everyone kind of has the outlook that everyone's doing it to make each other better, which I think is huge for the program.
Have you learned personally how to battle through some of those tough times?
Yeah, no, there's definitely like a support group around me, like my friends and family, and especially my parents, just kind of, if I have a tough day at the rink, just kind of talking with them. And obviously, living so close to home, so I can still see them a night or two a week. So I think that's kind of been huge mentally for me to have that release point.
I know for athletes, it's big about, being where your feet are. Right now, you're at Michigan State and you're their goaltender, but Red Wings fans everywhere are so excited that you're a part of the Red Wings system. Do you communicate with the Red Wings staff regularly throughout the season? And if so, what are some of the messages you've received?
Yeah, no, I talk to them once every couple of weeks, I'd say, just check in and stuff, and talk to Phil Sarah a lot. He's mostly who I deal with, goal development coach. So I just kind of keep in touch, but obviously they just want me to be as successful as I can. They want me to go out there and play my best and hopefully win every game the rest of the year. And that's kind of been the message throughout.
Have they given you specific things that they want to see from you just, as a goalie? Like what things are they looking for that they want you to improve on, or are they kind of just let you play for now?
No, they're pretty good about just letting me play, I'd say. I think they definitely give feedback to the coaches and our goalie coach here to kind of work on certain stuff with me, but there's nothing too direct coming from them.
I'm very aware that you're in a very fun part of your college career right now, especially this time of year. But do you allow yourself to think about what the future could look like, especially in the next few years, and what pro hockey could be like for you?
Yeah, no, I think like you said earlier, just being where your feet are is huge, but obviously it's there and it's something that you kind of are forced to think about just because of the living questions and stuff. But I think for me, I just try and block it out as much as I can. But hopefully, whatever happens next year and the year following, it's just a lot of wins and a lot of good hockey for me.
All right. Last time I talked to you, I asked you where you were keeping your gold medal. Now you have two gold medals and a couple of other awards to add to your collection. Where are all of them now?
Well, kind of our living room in my house has been taken up by hockey awards and stuff now. So we've got a few picture frames with jerseys and all my medals in them. So that room's kind of closed off from the rest of the house now.
So that stays at home like your parents' house, right?
Yeah, definitely wouldn't leave it in my apartment up here.
Not in East Lansing. Who do you live with teammates in East Lansing?
Yeah, I do. I have three other roommates. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you guys enjoy that? That has to be fun.
Yeah, no, everyone on the whole team lives with each other. So, and we all live in the same general area. So, kind of being able to mingle with the guys away from the rink is definitely a good part for our culture.
All right, Trey, just one last question for you. What are you looking forward to most as this year rounds out at Michigan State?
Yeah, I think just being with this group for the next 4 weeks. I mean, every year the team's going to change. I think just kind of really embracing the moments with the teammates I have now and just kind of just continue building our strong bonds that we all have and just spending those little moments together. So I'm really looking forward to.
All right. Well, we appreciate your time. I know, like I said, you're super busy right now getting ready for a big weekend ahead and a big couple of weeks ahead, actually. So, congratulations, Trey. Thank you for taking the time to join us today.
Of course, thank you.